to you by Law Nation. Turn those notifications on. We're grinding. There we go. David, I see you. David. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Nation. Show about to start in a few seconds. Yeah. Right. Come on, baby. I feel y'all, man. Let's go. One way or another. My name is Law Nation, L-A-W Nation. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to this groove. We're going to talk a little bit about Amari Cooper. That's the guy that everybody must understand, that I don't want people to have this notion, to have this mindset, that to say to themselves, with bold convictions and the courage of their hearts, to say, hey, well, Law, we really don't need them. I don't want people to have that type of mindset, right? On top of that, I really don't want people to think that, Amari Cooper is this guy just soft, because that's what we hear all the time. We think that this brother is soft, and then we look around, we look to our left, we look to our right, and we say, man, we need this guy. We need this dog out here. I know that Michael Gallup did what he did. But remember this, he did it against number 2s, number 3 defensive backs. He didn't do it against the primary defensive back. So let's not fall for the national media or the major media, or for some of the people to take their thoughts and just put it out there without tape and evidence, right? Shout out to those that's on my YouTube page, and shout out to those that's watching this. Well, we'll watch this on the Roku, and also we're live on Amazon. I really appreciate everybody for helping me grow this thing, and one day at a time, one movement at a time, brick by brick, and we stack these things together. Baby boy, this thing is going to be crazy. And shout out to the Facebook group, and Lance Bell, man, I really appreciate you. Yesterday for dropping what you did over there in the Cash App, man. I really appreciate you, and for everybody who listened to us last night. We was live like 95. It was me, Big Game James, Skywalker still with the new field, as well as my dog over here, KD Drummond. I mean, he came in with some facts, with some information for us that we can take home, something tangible. Let me repeat, something tangible. Also, we talked about the Clowney situation, the Jamal Adams. Now, I'm with the belief. I'm really strongly with the belief of these two situations right here. I don't think that the Cowboys will get Jamal. I don't think that the Cowboys will entertain Clowney. I think they came out and said that they're not interested in Clowney. Nevertheless, we're going to talk about it. And I do believe that if Everson Griffin can figure out a way to come on his team after looking at numerous of his tape, his film, and seeing what he did against the Saints, and we're able to see what he did against some of the other teams out there, I'm like, man, let's go get this brother. Let's go get him. Let's just try to figure out a way. Regardless of what it is, let's figure out a way to get him. Appreciate you, Jesse Perez, man. And again, Michael Hooper over here, man. Keith Young, everybody. But what we're going to do with this particular episode is we're going to listen in to 105.3 The Fan. Those my dogs over there. They had Brian Baldinger, I think that's how you say his name, to come on. And we're going to go over like what he talked about about the Amari Cooper and about the Jadeveon Clowney and about Jamal Get Down Adams. Let's go. Let's listen into what they have to say.
Network. Baldy, take us through that project you did with Amari Cooper. You and Kurt Warner sitting down. What did you take from Amari's craft?
Yeah, well, it's called Film Sessions. It's on every Saturday night in the NFL Network right now at 8 o'clock in the East. But, yeah, we brought Amari into the film room. We filmed it down at the Pro Bowl, and NFL Films was there, a bunch of cameras in the room, and I pulled a bunch of game tape of Amari and let him kind of teach us the game, what he sees, right, what he likes to do. And, he is an elite route runner. And he's cognizant of everything about who he's playing, the coverage he's going up against, how quickly he needs to win so that Dak, is not going to move on from him and go to in the progression to number 2, the number 3 receiver. And I think I think what Mike McCarthy's got to do here coming in is really understand that this is a really skilled player, and you've got to let him use those skills, not in every route, but in a lot of routes where he's going to get man coverage. To really be able to set those guys up and be able to win. He wants to be great, and I think he is really, really serious about being one of the better, if not the best receiver in football. I mean, I think that's what he.
Let's stop right here, man. Shout out to those that's watching and for those who tuning in. We're listening to 105.3 The Fan, Brian Baldinger. He's pretty much going over and talking about this right here. When I say that Amari Cooper is not just your average buck or run at the mill, he's an elite route runner. I do know that I get some hit and some clap back and say, well, can he do it on the road? Can he do it against number 1 wide receivers? Well, defensive backs, I meant to say. So I know I get that heat. Nevertheless, when you turn on the film, it's regardless of what cornerback that's really on him. And on top of that, we have to be cognitive enough to understand that we did. And this is not me throwing jabs at Jace and Garrett, but this is me speaking reality talk to you guys. Let's be real about it. When you go against the grain, when you go against what's within the confines of the Dallas Cowboys' older system, you see these type of things happening. The consistency of where they're going to be at on the route, the consistency of the bland play calling. It's crazy. It's crazy that a lot of people can see what's going on as it relates to natural tape, and we can go back and look at it from the last 10 years or the last 5 years and say, man, this team is vanilla as all vanilla, and all of a sudden, Amari Cooper falls on the sword when the games are not there. Let me repeat, all of a sudden, Amari Cooper falls on the sword when the games are not there. And people say, well, it's because he's trash. No. I don't want you guys to equate or put that in the same window. Amari Cooper is a dog. He is a dog, and he is elite as it relates to his route running. But let's listen to more what they have to say.
He thinks about all the time.
Baldy, one thing with Amari last year is he disappeared in the road games. When you were watching the film with him, did you notice anything different in those road games that may have led to that?
Well, I mean, certainly everybody's going to point to, the Philadelphia game at the end. Was it on the field? You're going to point to, the Patriot game where they really needed to play at the end. I don't think it was just Amari. I mean, I just think the team, just could not finish games. You think about the Viking game, they're down there at the 4, down there with a chance to win the game, chances against the Jets to win the game. I mean, they just didn't finish games last year. And I think that's one of the reasons why there was a coaching change. Certainly the owner wasn't very happy about it. But the receiver can only do what he does. I mean, you still got to throw him the ball, give him a chance. And if you're not going to him in big spots, like I don't think they did, then it's kind of hard to put it all on the receiver. Now, I'm not absolving any blame from Amari. The offense had to be better in big moments last year with the games are in the balance, and they couldn't do it, and that's why they didn't win the division a year ago.
Yeah, he speaks some major truth right here. And I see some people in the chat saying, man, our offense was so predictable. How many people from their seats on the couches or at your mama and cousin and Pookie and Ray in them houses, when you was there, you was sitting there like, man, I know which play they going to do. We know the probability of what they're going to do as it relates to running the rock. Oh, we know the favorite route of Amari Cooper when he's lined up in this particular side of the field. I know that there's at least 20 people, and I could be off on the number because I'm just shortchanging you guys. I know at least 20 people were sitting down in their couches, and they're sitting there saying, oh, I know what play we about to go. I'm going to wait. I know some people were sitting there saying, yeah, I know which route we about to go run. It was only about 3 routes that the Cowboys organization ran last year. 3 of them. Button hook, comeback, and a go. That was the 3. It's just how it all tied in. That is what I've seen out there when I turned on the tape. It was about 3 routes. I beg people to show me 10 routes that the Cowboys ran, you know. and on top of that, we knew what Jason Witten did out there as it relates to the tight end play. Y option was his only extra flavoring to any route. And that was the option that he had within the 5 or 6 yards, you know, within that route. And on top of that, for those who play at DB, for those who out there love cornerback play like me, what you can do, I can sit on the route knowing that I got roll coverages. And on top of that, if I know that this was going to be the gauntlet of plays that they're going to do, man, I can sit on that route all day. If you think I'm lying, there's a film session out there with my dog over there. Where he play for the Patriots land. What's his name? Y'all help me out. I'm getting the senior moment again. Help me out. It's the young lad that can catch all of the interceptions. One of the top DBs out there. Man, I'm losing my mind. Y'all help me out. Put it down in the comment box. Help a brother out. You know, that defensive back. He was sitting there saying, hey, I know the routes they're going to run. I'm just going to sit right here. Boy, he picked us Gilmore. Yeah, Stephon Gilmore. Boy, I need to drink some more of this coffee. Let me take a little sip of this coffee while y'all listen to what they have to say, man.
Did he talk to you about his health in the second half of the season, or did he look injured or banged up to you in the final 8 games?
Well, no player is going to talk about injuries. They're just not going to do it. Even at the Pro Bowl, you know, in a relaxed setting like he was, they're just not going to talk about it. I mean, whatever health he was, that's what he was. I mean, they're not going to say, well, if my quad felt better, you know, I could have exploded. But they're just not. No player is going to do that. So I don't go to the injury side of things with players. If they want to bring it up, that's fine. But I haven't heard any player ever make any excuses about their performance because of injuries in that type of a setting.
Brian Baldinger from the NFL Network here on the home of the Cowboys with Sean and RJ, 105.3 The Fan. Where do you stand on...
Is it Baldinger or Baldinger? Man, y'all help me out. Is it Brian Baldinger or is it Baldy? I'm messing this man's name up. Y'all help a brother out. Yes. Stephon Gilmore, when he was a free agent, I was sitting there like, man, Cowboys, do whatever you need to do to go grab this guy. I think that he's an excellent press man cover guy. Also, he can play in the zone. He's a unique guy. Trails and recovery speed is there. Hitting speed. I mean, the guy, when he was playing for Buffalo Bills, I was like, man, this guy is a gem. But it is what it is.
On all the Jamal Adams talk that he wants to come to Dallas. A lot of Cowboy fans want to figure out a way to get him with what it would take in compensation, having to pay him the new contract. Would you try to work that deal out if you were Jerry to bring Jamal Adams here?
Well, I think Jamal Adams makes any team better. You know, I can't speak for Jamal right now. I can't speak for what Joe Douglas and the Jets are trying to do at this point. He's got 2 years left on his deal. Yeah. He lives in Dallas. There was talk and strong rumors about him going there from the middle of the season on last year. And there was a real strong link about it. Look, he makes any defense better. I mean, he is an impactful player. He's a great tackler. He's a vocal leader. He loves the game. I did a film session with Jamal Adams last year, and he's easily one of the top 3 that we've ever done. I've done 45 of them. He comes in the room, he owns the room. Right. He's got a big personality. You want him on your defense. He's going to make your defense better. Now, you know, I like Xavier Woods. I think Clinton Dix is kind of moving around the league right now. But he's going to step in, and he's going to be your dime linebacker. He's going to be your safety in the box. He's going to make plays behind the line of scrimmage. He does have to take the ball away better at a bigger rate than he does right now.
Yeah, he's talking about Xavier Woods, and he'd have to take the ball away better. Remember last year during this time, Xavier Woods came out and said, "Man, I feel disrespected," and I was looking at like, what you gonna do about it? You talking about you feeling disrespected, but what you gonna do about it? Hey, a lot of times these players feel like they privileged in a sense. I'm like with this mindset. Bring in Rod Woodson. Bring in Deion Sanders. Bring in Ronnie Lott. Bring in your best. I don't care. I'm going all the way back. But you guys get what I'm saying. Bring in the creme de la creme because I want the best. I don't want to sit there and say, okay, well, y'all bringing in all of these people. It's too hard for me to play. No, bring me your best. Line them up, lace them up, let's fight. Let me earn this position out here. Don't give it to me. Matter of fact, don't give me nothing. Old folks used to say, don't bring me or give me Nathan, you know? That's old school right there. But, and shout out to you, Brandon, man. Really appreciate you, Brandon Williams. Yes. So he says Baldinger, but Baldy is for short. I really appreciate you, man. So here's the thing. And on top of that, to rewind to what they was talking about with Amari Cooper, it's a very noble thing to play with an injury and not go out there to be the first one to say, well, I was hurt. No. Don't get out there on the field and produce and say, well, I was injured. And then with your lack of production and then say, well, I was injured. No. You get out there. If you're on the field and you playing, then, hey, it is what it is. But we can say to ourselves, knowing that you were injured and say, man, that's an extra brownie point. But if you can't play, that's why I give all of my respect to Travis Frederick. Let me repeat, I give all of my respect to Travis Frederick. Although he made it to the Pro Bowl last year, he said, you know what, I didn't play to the caliber of what I should be at. And on top of that, I just don't have the feel that I used to have anymore. So therefore, I'm just going to walk away from the game while I can, so he can be with his beautiful wife and kids. He didn't drag this thing on and on and on and on and on again, holding on, having somebody else to wish and want to be in that position and not able to because of politics. He said, nah, I'm going to walk away from the game while I can. That is a noble thing. Now, moving over to what I was talking about with Xavier Woods, we love him. We all rooted for him when he was out there in Louisiana Tech. Shout out to LT. My thing is, we looked at that and said to ourselves, okay, this is a dog. He's dropping in the draft. Bring him in. Let him learn the defense. He can be a difference maker because he was a playmaker in college. He was taking balls away, and it just didn't really see this type of playmaking on this particular level. And it is what it is. But he should not be like sullying and denigrating the staff for going out there looking to get better in that particular spot. Let's listen to more of what they have to say. Shout out to you all, man.
It's interceptions or forcing fumbles. He needs more of those in his stat column right now if he wants to get paid like the best safety in football. And that's what he wants. So, look, would the Cowboys be better with Jamal Adams in the lineup? Yeah, there's a lot of things you got to deal with. There's compensation, and there's a big contract that you've got to work out. And, you know, the last time I checked, you know, Dak Prescott's on a franchise tag right now. They got to figure that out. They have done a great job of drafting and paying their own players. Jalen Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence, guys they've drafted, Ezekiel Elliott, and they have paid them. I don't know how they would fit Jamal into their salary cap situation right now. But, you know, Jerry Jones and his group are pretty creative, and we've seen that.
Baldy, Bucky Brooks said last week that safeties are like the defensive running backs, where they're important, but we kind of maybe overvalue them. Do you see it the same way, that in 2020, where it's such a passing league, that we're overvaluing the position?
I can't really say that. You know, just look at what, you know, Tyrann Mathieu did for the Kansas City Chiefs last year in their defense. Now, he was a real chess piece, and he moved all over the place. But I think when the back end of your defense is really good, then your team is going to be better. Because here's why. Most explosive plays that a defense gives up always falls in the back end, whether it's missed tackles or bad coverage. And if you can shore that up, I mean, you're just going to keep the ball in front of you. I mean, San Francisco kept their safeties healthy last year. Jimmy Ward was healthy for the whole year. He made a huge difference.
My bad about the technical difficulties. I guess my dog Murphy Law had to jump in and be the DJ. My bad about that. Pretty much what he was saying. Shout out to Murphy Law, man. He got a part of the show too. I got to get his logo somewhere on here. What can go wrong will go wrong, basically. Yeah. Nevertheless, here's the situation. Let me know if you guys can hear me now. Here's the situation with the safety play. A lot of times, safeties are so hard to gauge. They are so hard to gauge because if you go into the first round and you say, okay, I want this particular skill set on my team, nevertheless, 9 times out of 10, if he's a skilled player, then he's going to play defensive back. Let me repeat. If he's a skilled player out of college, he's going to play defensive back. However, that safety play in college is different from the pros. The hash marks are different. The field and where you lined up will be different. So my thing is, with the safety, is that sometimes you will probably have to go into the draft and draft early and just play that risk game. If not, if you draft the safety in the 5th or the 6th or the 7th round or what have you, it's a hit and a miss. Meaning that even, let me see this guy, Justin Simmons, that plays for the Denver Broncos, finna get crazy cheese. I know they put him on the franchise tag, I believe. He was drafted in the 3rd or 4th round. He's literally was drafted in the 3rd or 4th round, but one of the top safeties in this particular NFL. It's just how it goes, Cowboy Nation. Matter of fact, it's so crazy that Darian Thompson was drafted before Justin Simmons. Darian Thompson is on this team, and nobody is mentioning the word of Darian Thompson. That's how crazy safety play can be. So it's a hard situation. And what he's saying is that basically, if you know what you can get out of Jamal, then go out there and get it. Nevertheless, the other part of the problem is that it's not up to the Cowboys. It's not up to the Jamal Adams. It's up to the Jets. And the Jets, like I said and mentioned last night with KD when he was on the show with my dog Big Game James and Skywalker, is that we said this. Well, I said this. A lot of teams would not give Jerry Wayne Jones a weapon and be Herschel Walker around here. No, they don't like Jerry Wayne Jones that much. It is what it is, Cowboy Nation. Let's listen to more of what they have to say. I hope that they don't skip around and have DJ Murphy Law in the building.
Difference in that defense. You could talk about, the shark frenzy that the defensive front four did all year for San Francisco, but the back end was equally as strong. And so I'm not saying that Bucky isn't right. I mean, I know Bucky really well and respect a great deal of him, but I think you can't overlook the safety position. They're hard to draft. You got to kind of get them in free agency for the most part. That's kind of what's been going on. There's been a free agent carousel of safeties that have gone around the league. We saw it again this year. They're just hard to find right now, in college football.
How strong is Jamal Adams in coverage?
I think he's good enough. I mean, he's not, you don't want him going up against elite slot receivers. I don't know that you want him on Travis Kelce, for a full game or in big spots. But, whatever he's deficient in coverage, he makes up for the way that he hits. And the play's never over until, the whistle blows. So a lot of guys that can get an advantage on Jamal in coverage, but you still got to deal with him all the way to the ground because he's going to get the ball out somehow. So I think he's got some deficiencies there, But at the same time, I think that he's more than capable of being in coverage and doing the things that you've got to do when teams try to isolate you.
Radio.com insider Brian Baldinger joining us here on 105.3 The Fan.
All right, so that was 105.3 The Fan, Brian Baldinger, or Baldy, and he was talking about Jamal in coverage. Jamal against short, shifty guys, slot guys. I don't think that would be his cup of tea here. And like I said, I prefaced my statement earlier. We love Jamal, but I just don't think that the Jets will be like, "Hey, Jerry, here's some money for a guy that we know for sure that can change your organization." Nah, it don't work that way. It do not work that way. I wish it did, but it don't. And the reality of it is that they don't want to look at this thing and say, like Trey Sims, she said, "Hi, Law." Well, appreciate you, Trey. It definitely do not want it to be like, "Hey, here's Super Bowls." Because if you put Jamal on this particular team, this team will be one of those top-tier teams that are going to punch people in the mouth from all phases on the defensive side of the ball. That is the reality of it. That is. Shout out to everybody, man, for joining the notification. Let's listen to more what they have to say.
Jadeveon Clowney still has not signed.
Clowney!
He's apparently passed up on offers of multiple-year offers from the Browns, $18 million from Seattle. He's got a couple of teams. We may be one of them. How much does he improve this team? Does he really do a whole lot? Would you take the money issue with him, $18 million maybe, and go for it?
Well, they sure look like they've got a big hole opposite DeMarcus Lawrence right now. They're a front four defense. Mike Nolan's coming in. Mike Nolan has coached, a lot of really good defensive players in his stops around the NFL. He's going to make any defense better again. I mean, because you can't just look at sack numbers with Jadeveon Clowney. I know the most he's ever had in a season is 9. But the way that he plays, he just changes the game. Run and pass. I mean, the way that he crashes a party is nobody else really can play with the type of power and the amount of just disruptiveness, that he provides. I mean, I've had defensive coordinators tell me that the job of the front four is to go break a bunch of stuff. The linebacker's job is to go clean it all up. Jadeveon Clowney goes and breaks a bunch of stuff. If you watch him the first game against the 49ers when Seattle won last year in the middle of the season, he was the best player on the field. And he played a lot of snaps. Now, last year, he never went through training camp, didn't have an off season, kind of got, thrown into Seattle right there. He had to play himself into shape. If he's in shape, and I don't know that he is or he isn't, if he's in shape, he changes the way that you have to defend the team.
Let me tell you this. Go to my Instagram page, my IG page, and you will see what I'm talking about when we mention Jadeveon Clowney. I know a lot of people are only going to look at the sack total, regardless of what I say. Regardless of what I say, they're going to go to Google. They're going to go to NFL.com/stats. And they're going to type in Jadeveon, and they're going to say, "Hey, see, Law, he only had 3. He only had 3 sacks, man. That's not enough." They don't even look at the 2 touchdowns that he had. They don't look at the 3 forced fumbles and the QB pressure and the bat downs that the brother had. They're not going to look at that. They're going to look right at that sack total. They're not going to look at runs against, run for loss. They're not going to look at the fact that when he hit the running back in the backfield for minimum games and some non-game. Like he was having a meeting with Todd Gurley and really flipped the field for his particular team, causing a fumble and getting the ball back to the offense. Look, the craziest thing of it all is that the 2 touchdowns that he scored, and I'm only looking at it from the confines of the Seattle Sea Chickens, the 2 touchdowns that he actually scored for them really helped them propel themselves to winning those games. Or being in place of being a game changer. Now, I do know what is sexy. Sexy would be 13 sacks. What really looked good would be 12. And all this guy ever brought to the table was 9.5. And I do know he got a litany of injuries, Yes, his motor does not always turn on, and he's not that person that you can say from a PR aspect of it that he will be a good look. Now, I am with this belief, if the money is right, then you roll the dice and get him. Nevertheless, if the money is super right for this other guy, Everson Griffin, then you go out there and you say, okay, Everson, you already know coach over here, Coach Edwards. You know him. You're familiar with him. He's one of the positioning coaches or he help out with the defense. Let's just go ahead and remarry and put yourself on this front four. You're going to have a pole next to you. You're going to have a rotational piece, whoever it may be, from the inside. Maybe it be a Hill, a Neville Gallimore, and on top of that, you have a McCoy. Let's go get this ring. Let's go walk out this situation the best way. You're long in the tooth. Let's stop looking for this and that. And think about this. You're on the tail end with your career. Playing with Big D, baby. When you have Dallas Cowboys logo on your body, you can do numerous things after you retire. And that's right around the corner. So let's go out the best way. That will be my, sports talk to an Everson Griffin. That would be mine. Now, my sports talk to a Jadeveon Clowney would be like this. Let me give you an incentive-based contract for 1 year, and let me give you pretty much what Cam Newton is making, 7.5. That's what I would do. Let me know what you guys would do. But 7.5 is what I would do. Like 7.5 incentive base. If you get this amount of stats, or if you get this amount, since people love with stats or what have you, and if you want to bet on yourself, again, your contract can be upwards of $13 million. And once you play for the Dallas Cowboys, even if you play for a half of a season with the Cowboys, somebody going to want your presence. A la, what's the kid name? The young kid. He went over to the Texans. He just was on his team. They said he was washed up in Green Bay land, and he came over here. I think his first name is Randall. Last name is Cobb, right? Let me know if he were to get that contract, if he were to bypass Dallas, right? And if he was to get that type of contract or that type of money or that type of remunerations or that type of paper or that type of bag with the Green Bay Packers going straight to the Texans. Let me know if that were to happen. Oh, it's another guy I want to throw out there who got good pieces of money. A nice bag, hopped up out of the bag, real nice. Oh, Robert Quinn. Let me know if he were to get that contract going straight from Miami, straight to Chicago, Chi-Town. Get down. South Side, shout out to South Side, Chi-Town. That's where my granddad is from. Let me know. Let me know if I'm lying. I'm telling people, look, Earl Thomas, he did what he wanted to do. He went out there, used the Dallas Cowboys as leverage, went over to Ravens land. But if I was a betting man, whatever coins that Earl Thomas got over there in Ravens land, it would have been quadrupled over here in Dallas. Let me repeat, it would have been quadrupled over here if he'd have stayed out of trouble too. You know what I mean? It would have been quadrupled because everybody have been looking at it like, hey, there were 29 jerseys. I think that the players get a cut of the jersey revenue split, right? And I'm thinking that all of the other stuff that he could have got after his career is over with. Shout out to Earl. Shout out to Earl and his brother and all of those things. But it is what it is. I'm just telling you guys facts right now. But shout out to him. He went over to Ravens land, and he's playing over there balling out doing his thing. But let me know if I'm wrong, Cowboy Nation.
What team do you like the most in the NFC East right now?
I like the Cowboys the most right now. Look, I think Mike McCarthy has proven that he is a very good offensive coordinator, especially when he's got elite talent. And I think that, they've got the pieces in place to be a better offense than they were. I know they were number one in offense as far as yards, but like I said, they had to finish games better. I think CeeDee Lamb helps that offense a great deal. They needed a third option right now. But, it's the Eagles and it's the Cowboys, and I think the Cowboys are a more talented team right now.
Wow.
Brian Baldinger, NFL Network. Baldy's breakdowns are an absolute hit from all of us and everyone who checks him out on Twitter, joining us on The Fan. What did you think about Cam to New England? Who did you have in the AFC East? And
Cam, oh Cam. They're going to do some Cam Newton talk before they go into that conversational piece. I want to read your comments, Cowboy Nation. I want to see what's on your mental, what's on your mind, what's on your heart and soul, and these sort of things. Shout out to all of the mods for holding it down. Natasha, really appreciate you for holding it down over there. Who we have here? Trey Lathan, really appreciate you. Nick Blue, Sean Carter. Wentz got training wheels on in the playoffs. Shout out to all of the Philadelphia Eagles fans that's here. Cry, Eagles, cry. Boy, the Eagles won one Super Bowl, and you would think that it's 10 of them, right? The Eagles, let me just talk about this right quick. The Eagles are so quick to say, well, the Cowboys have not been relevant since 1995, right? Like relevancy is a scorecard, right? It's crazy. When the last time Jay-Z dropped an album, right? When was Reasonable Doubt was out? When the Blueprint was released? Since he not making any music, is Jay-Z not relevant? I just want to know with the word or the term relevancy. And on top of that, if you guys can understand math, math is the only problem over there in Philly, right? Is that they don't understand that 5 is greater than 1. And on top of that, if it's been so long, how come and why have not they even caught up with the Washington team? I would think that Giants fans will be more on this channel talking about, hey, Law, we coming for y'all. We right on your heels. We right behind you, But it's the person that's on the bottom. It's equivalent to me sitting there looking and having one of my daughters to go buy her first house, and she got one of these one-car garages to start a home or what have you, and all I can do is say, congratulations, baby. I love the fact that you are able to get out of father's house and get your own. But you're still not on my level, baby. It's crazy to me that the principle of math is that they can't understand, but they love to talk. Stomach muscles in their neck, they looking up. I'm sitting there like, man, they got an abdomen on their neck with all of this, looking up to the greatness. But I digress, Wes Grant, really appreciate you, though, man. Thank you for help growing the nation by joining the nation and by being on this channel. Who else we have over here? Shout out to your lawyer over there on the Facebook groove. Do you guys agree with Brian Baldy on the Amari Cooper talk? Do you guys agree with him with the Jets conversation of Jamal Adams and the Jadeveon Clowney, whereas he's telling a lot of people, hey, don't look at the stats. Look at the impact that he will bring to the table, opposite of a DeMarcus Lawrence, opposite of what a McCoy is doing. Just joined the table. Drugley, really appreciate you, man. Duh, what's good with you, man? Laugh out loud. The Eagles stank, Law. Ooh, yeah. Who else we have here? Tamara, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being part of the nation over there, holding it down on my Facebook groove. Bro, we got a new guys coming. Do you pay attention? Shout out to you, West Grad. We'll see who the new guys are over there in the Philadelphia Eagles land. I can't wait to see you guys. Jalen Rager is interesting. The kid is fast. Grease lightning fast. Father played for the Colts or what have you. TCU alum or what have you from Jalen Rager, dare I say. I think that the kid can go in and out of his breaks, but he got one major issue, and that is catching the ball. I have him comped as Nelson Aguilar, so it's like rearranging the furniture on the Titanic. It's still going down regardless of how you look at it, so that pick didn't really do anything for me. The Jalen Hurts, I think that he probably within the confines of the system, and if they utilize him right, you will probably get more out of Hurts than a Carson Wentz. And I'm not even trying to throw shade at Carson. I just don't think that Carson is ready to go 12 rounds. He's a guy that get punched in the mouth. Yeah, he'll shake it off, but then he get punched in the mouth again, and about the 5th or the 6th round, he fold up like a lawn chair. Maybe a wallet. You can say that. Shout out to you, Joseph Torres. Bro, he's a replacement for Studfield. We'll say, let's see who we have here. Vang, Cooper, fun to be good with it. Fresh legs. Yeah. I think that with Amari Cooper, my thing is with his overall skill set and the way he played with the plantar fasciitis. You know, that was a situation where I said, hey, if he's good enough to play, just like my dog over here on the Facebook group, Jimbo, he was saying like, hey, if he's easy and he's good enough to play on the field, he can't use that as a crutch. But we got to admit, at least the brother had plantar fasciitis. You know, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. Brian Bradford, don't forget the Cowboys been to 8 Super Bowls all together collectively. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I think the Super Bowl that we could have got away with that we didn't win, what was it? The Baltimore Colts, that was the Super Bowl. It was before my time, I believe. Or was it the other Super Bowl against the who else we lost to? Man, help me out, my dog over here. But I think that the Cowboys, I really do believe that there was a questioning earlier this week. Is this the best assembled experience that or skill set that Mike McCarthy ever had in his tenure? Meaning that going all the way back from the earlier starts of Green Bay, one can make a strong argument and say, yeah, this is the best assemble of experience / attendance as it relates to skill set that Mike McCarthy ever had. And I really appreciate those who did their homework on that. Natasha, she says, man, dropping $19.99 for your mind. Really appreciate the donation to help elevate the nation. Let's see if we can read what she says.
Being attached to Dallas Cowboy franchise is like an asset. Once you come through those doors and leave, most players know it's like creating a residual check. Woman shrugging, medium skin tone, you will be offered to be on TV shows and beyond.
Wow, I love it, Natasha. Really appreciate you for making that donation to help grow this thing. Big donations there. Yeah, you'll be offered to be on TV shows and beyond. So she's going into the ramifications of not just putting on the silver and blue is one thing, but all you just need is just a little piece of it. Just a little piece of it. If you just get a slither of silver and blue on your body, the Dallas Cowboys with the star on the side of your helmet, you will be like the Marcellus Wiley of the world, you know. And shout out to him. I think that he's a Columbia grad or what have you, and he's very brilliant at what he does. But nevertheless, he wouldn't have that opportunity if he didn't have the silver and blue on. I'm just speaking facts, you know. Marcus Spears, you know, all of those boys that on TV. Barbara Carpenter, whatever you say his name, you know. He had a cup of coffee in the NFL, and all of a sudden he's on, I guess, ESPN and beyond. I'm telling you. Pittsburgh twice. This is hand of faith. Yeah, really appreciate you. I can't wait for that Pittsburgh game. It's one of the games. We play the Pittsburghs, right? I'm really like the game that I got circled on my calendar if the NFL decide to have a season. A 49ers game, I can't stand them. Oh, and those Ravens game. I really can't wait till the latter part of the year to see those teams play against our team, right? Yeah. Yes, the best talent that Mike ever had. Yeah. Lance Bell, really appreciate you. Mike McCarthy is going to coach like he got a chip on his shoulder. He should. He flat out should. He should coach like he got a big old chip on his shoulder. Michael Fletcher is talking about Jalen Reagor. He can't catch. He flat out can't catch. So if they upset and mad about Nelson Aguilar, They will be mad and upset about this kid, Jalen Rager. Now, they can use him on reverse sweeps. They can do little bubble screens here and there. I think that's what they should do to utilize the good kid there as it relates to his speed. He got speed. I can't lie to kick it to you guys. He does got a lot of speed. Hightower, he's a guy that got some speed, tall or what have you, but he have an issue with the dropsies. So they picked up some wide receivers, but they all have the same issue, the drops. They like to play basketball with the football. Let's listen to what they have to say about, I know this is non-Cowboys talk, but this is more so to do with number one for the New England Patriots. Let's listen to what they have to say, and I'll give you guys my feedback, and then we'll jump back to Cowboys talk. Let's go.
And who do you have now with Belichick adding Cam Newton, presumably as the starter over Stidham?
Well, I mean, look, I think that the Patriots may be the first team to say, we're just not going to pay $30 or $40 million for a quarterback anymore. And we're going to concentrate on building a better team around the quarterback, whoever it is. And, to get Cam Newton at the price that he did, I mean, you can't not do it. And now we got to see how it works. They've got a new offensive line coach, Dante Scarnecchia, was a master. I played for Dante. He's as good as there is. But the fact that they're getting Cam at the price they are, they were able to keep their whole offensive line together. So David Andrews back at center, Thuney back at left guard. They'd probably lose him if they had to pay a quarterback $30 million. So they keep the offensive line intact. They want to be a good running team. Cam helps the running game. I think that Josh McDaniels has shown that he can adjust to whatever the talent is at that position. They did when Jacoby Brissett went in there and played quarterback for him. And so I think I think that when you try to defend the Patriots right now on third and fourth downs, you can't play man coverage with Cam Newton at quarterback. I mean, you turn the back on Cam Newton, he's going to take off with it and run, and he's going to be a handful. So
that's a good assessment of Cam. Oh, Cam Newton over there in New England land. I just want to tell people that this particular coach over there, Bill Belichick, forces you to play with your left hand. And if you're right-handed, he forces you to play with your left hand, basically. And if you're left-handed, he forces you to play with your right. He's that type of crafty guy, and he brings that type of temperament to the table. All right, so what we're going to do here is you guys can voice your opinions on this other guy, Randy Gregory. I don't know when the NFL will decide to let him play or allow him to play or allow him to be reinstated. I don't know what the holdup is on that. But I will say this with the likings of a Randy Gregory on this team, that will boost and bolster everything else up. It's just that the Cowboys, we always have to deal with the political pressure of Roger Goodell's putting the feet to the fire of Jerry. Remember this. As much as I can say this, I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face, and I think that's impossible for somebody like me, or red in the face. I think it's just impossible. Nevertheless, I will say this. Jerry Wayne tried to sue or get rid of Roger Goodell. He tried to take $45 million away from him, right? So if anybody think that Roger Goodell all of a sudden going to get over that, no. There's people in this chat box right now still don't talk to people because somebody owed them $1 or somebody owed them $5 or somebody owed them something and they have not paid it back or somebody got them fired from a job. They still not talking to that person. All right, so I got the phone line open for your mind, 682-214-4087. Feel free to call in and voice your opinion, voice your thoughts. Remember, nobody's right or wrong. These are only opinions. I'm not out there on the field. I'm not making differences as it relates to the Cowboys play, and nor am I'm calling the plays. I'm only giving you guys my raw thoughts and my opinions. Yes, Real Glock, what's good, man? Terrence Johnson, man, really appreciate you. Randy Gregory will be reinstated. Thou shall decree a thing, and it shall be established, right? I love speaking into the future. My Cowboys family, y'all check them out. They are the true late night warriors, man. Check out their page, man. My Cowboys family. It's a great place to kick back, chill, and I listen to them every night before I close my eyes. How about that? That's amazing. They do an amazing job over there, My Cowboys family. I put them on my YouTube phone. I got like 3 phones over here, and I got my YouTube phone, and I just hit play and I listen to the episodes as I go to bed because they up late at night just like me. Adam, what's good, Richard, man? He says LeBron James. Shout out to LeBron. Who else we have over here? Jimbo. We got Alden Smith, right? That's what he's saying. We need to move on from Randy Gregory and utilize Bradley Anae. As much as I agree with you, Jimbo, I disagree with you on that topic, though. I can't move on from Randy Gregory. I can't move on. I'm to the point right now. If we were to move on from him, we should never drafted him. Let's not wait till the NFL finally open up this particular ruling as it relates to marijuana and MJ or whatever you want to call it. And all of a sudden now we're going to move on from him. Watch. We move on from him. He's going to be over there in Patriots land. And we're going to be sitting there like, how in the world did the Patriots reinforce or reinvent their front four? And now Randy Gregory is averaging 11 and 12 sacks a year over there. It just seems like that would be the Patriot way, right? We get rid of him, and he goes to the Patriots. And trust me, I'm not saying we should hold on to him so he won't go to the Patriots. But what I'm saying is that let this dog wag his tail one more again, you know. Let this dog wag his tail one more again, man. Jonathan Durbin, Cam Newton will be reborn again in New England. Yeah, I agree. I just see it as, dang, this is New England doing New England thing again. And the AFC East is something that they're going to dominate again, once again. It's just the world and the universe open up. And Coach Bill Belichick can just sit there and say, yeah, look what I have done. Trey Randy for first. This is from Rivers. I don't know. His trade value is not at a first right now. His trade value is crazy. It'd probably be at a 5th or a 6th based upon what his last production level was and the amount of games that he played in and the uncertainty, of Randy. I don't think you can get a 1. If you do, that would be robbery of robberies, right? It would be robberies of robberies, man, in my opinion. And I love what Randy Gregory brings to the table, but I don't think that if the Cowboys can trade him, I don't think that they can get a 1 out of it, though. I just don't see them getting that much of remuneration from him. Lance Bell, man, we can never have enough pass rushers. Man, boy. You speaking nothing but the truth. You are. We can't have enough pass rushers because at the end of the day, here's the thing. You want a quarterback that can throw the ball, get the ball, move the ball down the field. You want a quarterback that can methodically move the ball down the field. You want a quarterback to be comfortable. But the only enabler or stabilizer, basically, to slow that down would be a pass rush. Law, where are you coming from? Well, we seen Tom Brady go on his run, or the AFC East New England Patriots go on their run, but the only thing that really stopped Tom Brady to having more than whatever 10 trips or 9 trips to the Super Bowl was the front four of the opposing team. The Denver Broncos being able to get to the quarterback. The Ravens, when he played against them, being able to get to the quarterback. Especially these statue type of quarterbacks. You better have a front four that can get there. And I think that if we somehow to get a Everson Griffin, or if Randy Gregory get reinstated, or if all of the love and the adulations that we have for Alden Smith, if he's able to jump aboard and play for us at not even at a 10 sack level, even at a 5 sack level off the rotational tip, I think that will make our team as dangerous as possible. It will. This is from, is it Trillion? Let me know how to pronounce your name. Just Law, represent Cowboys Nation well tonight. And bad dog show, brother, man. I'll be watching. Really appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Who else we have here? Francis, what's good? Now, would you rather have Clowney or Griffin? Well, I think I said it earlier. Give me Griffin. Give me Griffin. With the understanding that he'll have to take a little bit less, because the last report that I heard was that Griffin want Robert Quinn's type of money. Let me repeat. Griffin want Robert Quinn's type of money. Clowney would be a great piece to add, but it will be a 1-year rental. And on top of that, it would have to be an incentive-based contract to get to the number that he really want, because we know for sure we're getting him for 1 year. And the last thing we want to sink our teeth into is a $15 to $18 million contract for 1 year. And we get the production from what people say that he brings to the table. I want him to play with fire and something under that, so that he can have something to fight for. Billy, what's good with you, man? Thank you for tuning in to the nation. Billy says, I just say, hey, Law, man, really appreciate you, man. Really do. All right, let me see how long I've been live, man. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm trying to do an hour show. I've been live for 55 minutes. The phone lines are open. 682-214-4087 is the magical number. Give me a call. Give me a buzz. Let me know what's on your mental. Let me know what's on your mind. And if you don't want to call, shoot me a text. That line is 24/7 as it relates to texting, so you can always send me a text message. Brandon Bell, shout out to the Bells, man. He said Lubbock, Texas, in that building. Oh, I didn't do this lately. Put down where you guys are from. Case in point, I'm from NTZ. We call that Natchez, Mississippi, and we represent Mississippi strong. 601 boys all day, every day. Let me know where you guys are from, and shout out to Oak Cliff of America. Shout out to Oak Cliff, and shout out to Oak Cliff, baby. Yes, indeed. Let me see what we have over here. Griffin is not seeing Robert Quinn's money. This is from K. Francis. Nah, he ain't getting close to that. Especially he's long in the tooth and things like that. No, sir. Michael Fletcher, I agree. This is from James. Really appreciate you so much for tuning in. Who else we have here? Mark Anthony. Trouble. Not on the field. The issue is he had... Field woke up him and allowed him to change when he hit 30. I can't read the rest of it, Mark, but I feel what you're saying. But it's from a different perspective. I guess that's what you're saying. Texas, Lance Bell, Chester, PA, shout out to you. Clarkston, Michigan, Salt Lake, Utah, Dallas Young. See, we the only nation that can say, hey, man, where y'all from? And we get people from all over the globe, right? Darrell from Maryland, really appreciate you. Woodbridge, VA, really appreciate you. Biloxi, Mississippi, that 228 Law. What's up, man? Yeah. Biloxi, man. Biloxi is pretty nice, but on a good day. Sometimes that seaweed be in the water. It don't have that clear water, but it is nice out there. And you got to be country like me. You can't say water with the T. You got to say water with the D. D-A at the end, water. 904 boys, man. Really appreciate you, man. Houston in the house. Studwood, Cowboy, really appreciate you. M.O.B. Carol, Flower, Child, Jones, what's good? Silver City, pretty appreciate you guys. Memphis, Tennessee, Law, Mississippi in the house. Seabirds, man, really appreciate you. Washington State, shout out to Washington State. Akin, SC. All day, man. Shout out to Black Beach over there. Everybody, man. Phoenix, Arizona. Man, over there in Phoenix, I heard it get 110 degrees. And that's a good day, right? That's a shady day. Now, I think that virus can't live over there. Let me know if I'm wrong. 110 degrees. 662 in the building, man. That's over there in northern parts of Mississippi. 662s in the world. Batesville and Tunica, Mississippi, man. Hey, man. Tunica was so popular as relates to going down there in the casino you had your boy AI, Allen Iverson, to get in his car to drive down there to get on those machines. That's how bad Tunica, Mississippi is, baby. Allen Iverson said, man, let me get off the Grizzlies right quick. Let me hop in my whip and let me drive down here to Tunica. Hey, we got a place in Mississippi called Eupora, like Eupora, Mississippi. Boy, we got some crazy names, man. Shreveport in the house, man. Really appreciate you. Wooder. Yes, indeed. La Cali. Yeah. Adam, what's good? All right, Cowboy Nation, I done stole enough of your time. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in to the nation. My thing is, this team, we need to have a season. I think that this is the best assembled team for Mike McCarthy. I think that one way or another, even though I didn't mention his name throughout this entire stream, only about maybe by a slither of chance, right? The Rain Dakota Prescott, Dak Prescott, I think that they will find a way to get this brother a long-term contract so that we won't only have 11 mil. I think that 7 million of the 11 million that we have pretty much on the cap, 7 of it goes to the rookies. So that's not a lot of money left over. I think that the Cowboys will possibly figure out a way to sign Dak Prescott to that extension so we can have a plethora of more money so we can go out there and get one more acquisition. And I think that one more acquisition will fall heavy on the defensive side of the ball. I think that the defensive side of the ball is somewhere where we're going to really take a good look at. Everywhere else, I think that we are good enough. I think that with the wide receiver core that we have intact, I think that the wide receiver core, we don't have to really play around with that. Can anybody disagree and tell me why? Shout out to you, Dallas Young. Be safe on the road. Or as my pastor would say, be safe on the road. And who else we have? Our tight end play. I just like what we got. I like to see the drawing. Call me biased, but let's roll out the Jarwin administration and let's vote for Jarvis, right? Jarwin, I meant to say. So with the running back committee, I think we're cool with that, right? I don't think that we need to have any other situations. Kawame, dog, really appreciate you, man. I hope I said your name right, Kawame. It's one of those situations where it's running back. The situation over there is cool. It's good, you know. Maybe we can poke holes at the offensive line, but the offensive line is a unique vessel. It's a unique unit. It's a unit whereas you really can't put your hand to it or put your hands on it until you see it in action. It's like that because it takes 5 for the offensive line to be complete. If you have one chink in your armor, that's where they'll concentrate on, and they will come at you. They'll be like, it's blood in the water. Oh, that left guard, he's weak. I don't give a dog how bad Tyron is. If the left guard is weak, boy, they'll rip you a new one. Oh, that center is suspect. Don't you know that the center position, I'm just speaking in general, not saying about this particular team, but defensive coordinators, they try to find where your weakness at. If that center is suspect, and if he's light in the rear, and if he can't really do anything against when it's time for him to pull, oh, that's where we're going to line up. Oh, you think pressure is coming in on the double A gap now? Oh, this center is lacking on pointing out the mic. He can't make the shift in the line adjustments when the crowd is loud. He can't communicate to his contemporaries. Boy, this is going to be a rough game. Fumble, snap. Oh, the quarterback now have to make adjustments and line up on the center when he can't go in shotgun. It's so many things. People think that the center position is the easy plug-and-play situation. No. Center's like one of the 3rd hardest positions to learn in the football. You got to slide protection, no protection. Understand where the leverage is on the defensive side of the ball. Point out the mic. Also understand what's your relationship with the quarterback. Telling these young kids out here, man, if you think that the center position is the easiest position on the line, you lost your mind. It's a quarterback position, but you on the line. You touch the ball 100% of the time, and you will have to be ready. You will have to know everything about the offense. You do. And you better not snap that ball off when you don't know where your wide receivers are lined up. Oh, too many people, not enough on the line, illegal procedure. You just done cost your team 15 yards. You just cost your team 90. It could be a 90-yard play, but it could be a legal formation because you snapped the ball or you gave the ball to the quarterback too soon. That's the power of the center. Nevertheless, I think that the defense is where we need to go if we make another acquisition. It could be at safety. It can be on that front 4. All right, Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Really appreciate you guys. Let me turn my phone lines off. Since y'all don't want to call in, that's all good. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. What kind of music that you guys want to hear on my way out? Do you guys want to hear the relax? Or you guys want to get into the methodical, the war path music, you know, the path of the righteous man, the battle of the minds? Let me know, man. I'm going to let you guys pick and choose what type of music and what type of groove you ready to rock out with, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Waco, Texas, report. Yeah. Love, peace, and hair grease, William Williams. Appreciate you, Ruglock. Really thank you for tuning in. Trey, really appreciate you. Don't trust our corner. This is from Ron Royale. Yeah. I don't know, man. Vikings music. Okay, there we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah.
This is Sparta!
Cowboy Nation, if I don't see no fire and no desire in the chat box, I'm not going to leave. I need to see somebody to get off their feet and stand and say, how about them Cowboys? I need for you to tell your friend, tell your neighbor, tell those foes that's down the street, hey, I got a question for you. How about them Cowboys? I need for y'all to understand for your mind, to understand this right now. A lot of people have to say a lot of stuff, but that's after I'm gone because they fear me in the physical form. Let it be known. We troublesome. Ever since 1995, a lot of people say, man, y'all haven't done anything, right? But let them know what's taking them so long to catch up and keep up. That's the craziest thing of it all. A lot of people have their preconceived notion that the nation is falling down. But this nation, boy, we rising above the top because the cream is the only creme de la creme that rises to the top. And I'm talking about of your mind. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you hold all of the things tawdry and cheap for it, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out and sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror of God or man for it, if you will simply, just simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, with faith, hope and confidence and star tenacity. Boy, I'm telling you, Cowboy Nation, one way or another, you guys know how this thing go. You all are listening in to nothing but the best. We the best. We dominate the East, and we located in the West, and we awesome beasts, baby. Let's go. Turn me up, baby.
This is Sparta! This is Sparta!